What makes the Green Lantern amazing? Well, today we're going to find out. In our last video, Hal faced his fears, reliving all of the moments in his life that brought him pain or insecurity. He watched as twisted versions of his memories came to haunt him. But soon, the worst of them, Parallax, made its presence known, welcoming him to his ultimate nightmare. This is going on because the villain Insomnia is going through superheroes' dreams to see if they're hiding the Nightmare Stone from him. To dig into their memories, he's basically haunting their nightmares. This is Comicstorian. We make audio dramas of comic books that have just come out. This lets you know what's going on in the world of comics and you know which books to buy once you get to your local comic book store. Today is Night Terrors, Green Lantern issue number 2. Everything happened so fast, and before Hal could react, Parallax was already attacking, telling him, "This is your hell." Hal is knocked into the ground, and as he gets up, "I'm not afraid." "Is that so? I can see into your mind, the ghosts of the past, the memories. Or maybe I should change my form into one you're more familiar with." Hal looks at the being. What are you? And Parallax smiles as the evil version of Hal Jordan that once stood against the DC Universe. "I am your nightmares come to life. Your father's death. Worries that you wouldn't be the man that Abin Sur chose you to be. What happened to your friend on Kuragar? And finally, the things you did when this alien took over your body. Most of your race carry their fears on the surface, but yours? They're buried much deeper than the rest. But I have found them. And now..." Wait, why are you smiling? Hal stands back up with a grin ear to ear. "Oh, buddy, you picked the wrong planet and the wrong person to try and scare. My friend Kilowog once told me, fear stood for false evidence appearing real. And those weren't fears that you found. They were moments when I was faced with a choice. To worry about what might happen next, or push the throttle forward." Parallax bares his fangs. "You are nothing in this place. Beware my power." And Hal charges forward. "That's my line." His ring begins to shine and Parallax is engulfed within the Green Lantern's light. Hal Jordan swings as hard as he could, knocking Parallax down. Parallax crashes into the ground, horribly injured already. "What are you?" "I'm the Green Lantern. Your worst nightmare!" Parallax quickly scrambles to his feet, running through the doors into Hal's nightmares, the first being his encounter with Abin Sur. Hal follows behind him, and the evil Abin Sur is laughing at him. "There you are. Now where were..." But before he could finish, Hal slaps a metal mouthpiece over him. "Yeah, you could stop talking." He then puts his fingers to his lips, shushing Abin Sur. "I've heard enough from you." He creates a large hammer, winding it up and slamming it back down on the seesaw that he's placed Abin Sur on, launching Abin Sur into the air. As Hal flexes, he simply declares, "Superman, eat your heart out." And he realizes that Parallax is still attempting to escape, and he begins to give chase. But as Hal catches up, Parallax turns, yelling, "Insomnia is calling to me! I have to go." But as he attacks, Hal effortlessly swats the yellow constructs aside. "I am the master of your mind. I can still destroy you." But as more bigger and badder constructs appear, Hal tells him, "No one but me is the master of my mind. That's what willpower is." However, there's another thing. We're in a dream world, right? If you can hurt me, that means that it works the other way around, too. Hal forms up a giant gun, blasting through the giant constructs and shooting straight in, hitting Parallax. Parallax retreats once more, now with a bullet wound, and Hal follows through the doorway. "Where did you go? Come out! Let's get this over with." He looks at the shuffling bodies of his family, the corpses trying to blame him. "Hey fam, you miss me?" His father crawls forward, holding out his hand. "Join us in death." "You're not my dad, and you're making me fragging mad." A chainsaw appears on his hand, and Hal chops up his dad. "Who's next? Aunt Lacey? I've always hated your birthday presents." He then takes a hold of the chainsaw with both hands, hacking away at the remaining bodies. And just as the last one appears behind him, he changes the chainsaw into a shotgun, turning back, opening fire. With nothing but bodies at his feet, another voice calls out, "So typical Jordan of you, letting your family die, just like you let him die on Kuragar. But you don't like to talk about that, do you?" Hal takes a deep breath. You can get out of my head now. Parallax steps out. Oh, did I strike a nerve? This isn't over. Hal pulls his arm back, winding up for the punch, and as he swings, his ring shines bright. And that's when he wakes up. It takes Hal a moment to realize what's going on, but he remembers that he fell asleep while in the air flying. He sees the pilot asleep and sits in the other chair. Yeah, this'll do. This'll do just fine. Let's touch this plane down and figure out what's going on. But the Green Lantern book also has a backup, the story of Sinestro dealing with his nightmares. Sinestro lands before the two halves of himself, one version of himself who was the beloved and respected hero, and the other a tyrannical monster. He could feel the fear bubbling inside, the shame. He has come face to face with the darkest evil. But this is someone's doing. Someone has infiltrated his reality to create these monstrosities. He will make them pay when he finds them. He will crack their skulls and laugh as they bleed to death. One half asks, what has he become? He used to serve the Guardians. He used to help people. He used to be a hero, but what now? The other asks him now. Your galaxy's away from that simpering man. You stood tall, a being of undisputed power, but this broken thing in front of me, a failure, a waste, nothing. Sinestro pushes back, asking, how dare you? You know nothing of me, what I've sacrificed. I have crushed men for less. I will enjoy ripping. The tyrant snatches him out of the air and slams him down. You will do nothing. You used to be a revolutionary, a merciless destroyer of worlds, but you are nothing more than a parody of yourself. Suddenly the righteous half yells out that is enough. Some good remains in him, it must. No one can serve with such honor only to be a hapless nothing. The two nightmares begin to argue with each other, debating what Sinestro is. And Sinestro asks if there's any hope in any of this. Hope. What a strange alien word, a sensation he exiles from the far reaches of his mind. Could there ever be a path back to what he once was? And if there was a path back, would he take it? With the tension off of him, Sinestro begins to slip away, but the righteous half grabs him, telling him that he cannot evade the truth. It is time for his reckoning, whether he likes it or not. Sinestro yells for them to go away, but soon they begin to change forms. First into Hal Jordan, and it asks, does he feel it in his heart, the people that he has failed, the people that he has betrayed? As the form changes once more into Soranik, his daughter, the righteous tells him that there is still hope, but only if he wants it. Sinestro tells the two halves to leave him be. And then another voice calls out, a familiar yet strange yet different voice. The voice calls out to guide him, and as Sinestro follows the sound, he sees his daughter Soranik once more, asking for her help. The vision of the Green Lantern version of his daughter soon shifts into one powered by fear, a Yellow Lantern Soranik, and she tells him, help, you have made a grave mistake. I've come to bury you. But then everything disappears and Sinestro awakens. Even though he's awake, the question remains in his mind, what has he become? It doesn't deserve to be unanswered for long. The doubt, the fear, the shame. It's gone now. He's been through his own personal hell and he isn't afraid anymore. He knows who he is, who he's always been, and it's time to let the world know who Sinestro, the Yellow Lantern, really is. And that concludes Night Terror's Green Lantern. So now Hal Jordan has woken up and is preparing for the final fight. So what is going to happen in the Night Terror's book? So far, I thought I'd fall off of this story. I thought I'd fall uninterested. It's weird because I like these nightmares. They could have easily been one-off nightmares that don't matter and have no ramifications. But so far, the biggest ones, they're having ramifications on our heroes. Memories, thoughts, fears that they need to overcome so that we can move on to the next stage of their lives. The big question is, will this affect the main lines or will this just turn into another thing that kind of gets forgotten on the sidelines? But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to do all the YouTube jazz, and if you want early access, don't forget to join our YouTube memberships and join us at Patreon. I'll see you next time right here.